Hey, it's Maddie Mark Shirk with the Westerland team. I'm excited about this video today that I'm going to share with you. I actually tagged along with our team lead and luxury real estate agent with Jay Westerland, who is excellent at what he does and has been doing it for many, many years. And he has a lot of value and information about the Southwest Florida real estate market. I know a lot of people inquire daily, weekly, annually about what's going on in the market, what it looks like for buyers, sellers, how it affects everybody basically. We know that there's a lot of new construction in Southwest Florida. We understand that there's a lot of real estate from small condos to huge estates to luxury, new high rises. But yes, new construction market is booming. There is definitely more inventory than maybe not ever seen, but certainly have seen in a long time, especially since COVID. So anyways, I tag along and get to ask him some questions about his view on the real estate market, what he sees for the future of it, and just some advice in general for buyers and sellers alike in Southwest Florida. So if you are interested in the Southwest Florida real estate market coming from an honest professional who I've been working with for 5 years, I think you'll really like this video. So without further ado, I'm just gonna pivot over to us chatting in the car and touring around North Naples area and talking a little bit about Southwest Florida real estate at a more conversational level. If you have any questions or inquiries about Southwest Florida real estate, please contact me with my email below, and we'll get to it.
All right, I'm here with my good friend, colleague, and team lead on our real estate team, Jay Westerland. He's all right at what he does. He closed, I think, on his own $57 million last year in Southwest Florida real estate. Absolute stud, knows a whole lot about this area and how to sell properties, especially in the luxury market. So I figured I'd ask him a few questions and kind of get an idea as to what he sees for the future of Southwest Florida real estate and his tips and tricks for people coming to move down here or looking to sell. So how you doing, Jay?
Excellent, Maddie.
You like that intro?
Quite the introduction. Don't know what you're. Yeah. Anyway, well, that was good. Pumping me up here on bright and early, so that's good.
So what's your take on the Southwest Florida market right now?
Yeah, it's been interesting. We've been licensed down here for almost 20 years now. So the one thing that's always happening is that we're always in transition, right? We're always transitioning from one market to the next. So we've seen this incredible run up in pricing, right? So we had top of the market was probably going to be 2019, 2020. And then, when COVID happened, I think we all kind of looked at each other and thought, gosh, we might not ever sell a home again. This is crazy. And then sure enough, we were incorrect on that. And the market just exploded. We just had this massive influx of people coming here and prices skyrocketed. Then we had this major event that we've never really experienced here, Hurricane Ian, back in 2022. And 2022 was a pivotal moment in the sense that just this crazy devastation that we'd never seen with water coming in. And so you had all these people that had second home, third home, whatever that was, and that happened in September, and their houses needed to be renovated. Some of them torn down, just all that kind of stuff. So you had all these people from up north that said, gosh, I'm not going back to Michigan or wherever they're from and spending the winter there. So they ended up just buying other homes. So that kind of propped the market back up again. So we had these kind of two events that happened. So since 2022, we've definitely been in a declining market as far as pricing goes. Some segments more than others, but we kind of feel like we're bottoming out there. A lot of good opportunities down here. So it feels good. There's a lot of new development. So I really, I'm very bullish on Southwest Florida and what we're doing and what we continue to do.
Sure. So are you saying it's more of a buyer's market now than now versus 2021, 2022?
Absolutely. Yes, no doubt about it. It's such low inventory, stuff was flying off the market back in those, call them COVID days for lack of a better word, but things were just ripping off the market. So the inventory levels just weren't there. So that's kind of adjusted now. So buyers definitely have a heck of a lot more options than they did in those days.
Jay, what do you notice about like new construction trends down here? Is there a lot of new construction going on, and how is that impacting like the resale market?
Yeah, so there's definitely like spec homes down near the water. So there's been a lot of tear downs and some speculative building just kind of on the one-offs. So you're seeing a lot of that. You're seeing new luxury high rises, condos that are coming out of the ground. That's been a big trend lately for some wild numbers, big numbers. You think about like the Four Seasons down in Naples. Some of those going for over $50 million, which is just wild. So yeah, that stuff is still happening and continuing to happen. As far as like the single family, more of like residential communities, gated communities, more of like the national builders, you're seeing that happen kind of east of 75. So whether you're talking Naples, Bonita, Estero, all of that is kind of happening east of 75. So they're running out of land near the water. So the growth continues to happen further east.
I noticed like a lot of golf communities themselves, they have a lot of resale homes. There's not very many new golf course communities in the area. Would you say you kind of have to pick one over the other in most cases?
Correct, yeah. So you're seeing, any of the new ones that are really coming out of the ground, with the exception of the high-end private golf club, as far as having houses around it, really doesn't exist unless you go east or north, and they're doing some, a few like bundled communities, but not really right in the heart of town in the metro area of Naples, Bonita, Estero, Fort Myers.
Okay. What would you say is the biggest challenge for buyers right now in general?
There's no challenges for buyers.
They want to buy, they'll buy.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll make it happen.
Exactly. Buyers.
All right, sellers. What's the biggest challenge for sellers?
I think if I were to take a snapshot of the last year or two, because of the way prices ran up, we've seen a bit of a disconnect between buyers and sellers. A lot of sellers still think, gosh, look at what these things sold for a year or two ago, and they don't understand what has happened with pricing. So I still think that's kind of the challenge out there, that you see buyers very educated today. There's a litany of information in the world with technology that we didn't have before, right? So I think buyers are very educated, and sometimes it's just hard to, the expectations, the disconnect between buyers and sellers right now.
Yeah, that's fair. And then another question, what is like the biggest misconception people have before they come down here? Like when you're talking to a buyer, they think something that might be untrue, that might be helpful for them to know.
To answer your question, Maddie, I feel like buyers coming to town, the one thing that we, and I think you'll agree as a team, we really focus on is lifestyle,
Yes.
right? I think people, like, I grew up in Indiana, and not to say that's not the case there, but like you're more thinking, okay, neighborhood, school district. For here, the majority of our buyers, people coming to town, are, it's not their primary, second home, third home even sometimes. So that is a decision where it's more of like, what's the lifestyle? Some people are coming here to spend time at the beach. They love the beach. They want to go to the beach. Some are golf, pickleball, fitness is important, walkability to restaurants, location. So our team, we've been a big believer in finding, hey, what's the lifestyle you want to live? Figure that out, and then we'll find you the home, whether that's a condo, single family home, high rise. But I think you really need to understand the lifestyle you want to live and then go from there. So I think that's the biggest thing. And it's been fun for us to, just with our experience and how long we've been in town and our experience within and around all of these communities, that we can really help people, guide them easily to find the right fit for them. Because, the majority of the communities, if you're going to be in a community, are gated. So it's not a situation where, you can just drive around and feel each neighborhood, because they're not going to let you in. So the ability for us, it's been fortunate that we've been able to serve our clients in the sense that, hey, tell us about yourself, and we can really help narrow that search a lot easier and make it a much more efficient process for them, so they're not diving through 50 different communities, kind of like a needle in a haystack. So we can really help guide them in a quicker, more efficient process.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel that in Naples alone, there's like 90 golf clubs and communities. So I can't imagine if anybody came down here and kind of did their own research. Just they all have different initiation fees, different amenities, all that sort of thing. So it's like figuring out where like the top 5-10 communities that might work for them, and then finding their house from there is going to be the most important step to just speed up the process, right?
That's right. You said it. You hit it right on the head. Give them the experience, but make sure they understand the process and what their pros and cons, right? Every community has a pro or a con with it. So
do you find like a lot of people are looking for properties with non-HOA type communities, or are they preferring to find communities that are gated and,
sure.
monitored?
No, good question. You really, to each their own. Everybody's a little different on that and what their wants and needs are with it. We do have both. Really, I mean, if you take kind of a snapshot of Southwest Florida, when you get near or around the beach, kind of, I call it west of 41, US 41 and 75 kind of parallel each other. So those are kind of major landmarks that we use for buyers. But west of 41, so closest to the beach, you don't see a ton of necessarily gated communities. There are some, but a lot of that is single family or condo living where you're not in a master plan community. And then once you start moving east of 41, those start popping up a lot more. There are some, especially like in the Bonita area, west of 41, not necessarily on the beach, but you do have some gated communities. But a lot of that kind of happens east of 41 is where, a lot of those popped up and exist.
Very cool. All right, last question. What are the coolest developments coming in Southwest Florida that you're excited to see? One that comes to mind for me is the new Mercado kind of in Bonita Estero area.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, there's all kinds of neat things kind of popping up and happening. So you have some really like high-end like clubs happening in Naples, more of like lifestyle clubs. You have like shopping districts, right? So like Midtown Bonita and the new like Mercado type property that's happening across from Coconut Point. So it's neat to see these happen, and just more and more fun things to do. You know, the area has really changed, and it's become more of a year-round destination opposed to what everybody kind of always thought of Southwest Florida as a little sleepy. It still has its charm and everything like that. It has changed and gotten a lot stronger what it offers.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I love this area, and it just continues to grow every day with the new stuff that keeps popping up.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, it's super cool.
No doubt.
Thanks for answering the questions.
Anything for you, Maddie.
You're the best.